we're going to be studying the portion of the 16th day of Menachem Av. We're talking about the fact that although everything comes from the letter Yud, which is wisdom, but as we get into this physical world, it comes from the letter Hey. 413, 414, again, today's portion, 16th of Menachem Av. So the world in general comes from the Yud, as everything comes from Chochmah, but this physical world in particular comes from the Hey. We also talked about the fact that there is, within the letters of God's alphabet, there is the idea of the internal or essential and the external, also known, in other words, as chomer and tzura, matter and form. Now picking up with the portion of the 16th of Av, the very bottom again of 413, 414, this lowly world, with all its vitality, Koton is too limited, mehachil to contain, v'lizbel to tolerate, the energy, v'chayas, and the vitality, from the form of the letters, the soul of the letters, upnimiyusan, and their inner essence, lahayir, to illuminate, or lashpia by, and to be able to funnel, to be able to channel energy within it, bili levush v'hester, without a garb of concealment. As this godly energy illuminates and causes energy to flow to the higher forms of life, to the heavenly forms of life, to souls and to angels. Here, the physical world can't take that unbridled energy. Rak the ray of divine energy and the flow of divine energy comes v'nishpa and is channeled l'olam hazeh into this physical world. Mibchinas chomer v'guf ha'isius v'cheitzeniusam, from the matter, from the body of the letters, and from their externality, shehu bchinas hahevel, which is represented by what we call hevel, breath. We talked earlier that the Hey represents the raw breath of energy, which emanates from the heart or lungs, which becomes the breath, which brings about through the 5 areas of articulation, speech, so that every letter begins with a breath, which is represented by hevel, breath, which is Hey. And here he refers to hamischalik, which subdivides lezayin havolim shabikehelis, with the 7 levels of hevel in the book of Ecclesiastics, sha'aleim ha'elam aimid, upon which the world stands. And here we open up a book of Kehelis, the wisdom of King Solomon, and Divrei Kehelis ben David. These are the words of King Solomon, of Shlomo, son of David, Kehelis Shlomo, Melech B'Yerushalayim, king of Jerusalem. It says, Havel havolim omar Kehelis, Havel havolim hakel hovel. Folly of follies, said Kehelis Shlomo. Folly of follies, it's all folly. What use is there to all the toil of man? And he goes on with his wisdom. So our sages say in Kabbalah that Havel is singular for folly, Havolim is plural, that's minimum plural too. So Havel is 1, Havolim is 2, 3, Havel again is 4, Havolim is 5, 6, Havel is 7. We have 7 mentions of the word Hevel in the very beginning of the book of Ecclesiastics. Back to the text here in the Tanya. Again, Hamischalik, the breath of creation, flows in and divides into the 7 levels of Hevel in the book of Kehelis. As it says in Zohar, the world stands upon these 7 levels of breath. When we learn Ecclesiastics in its simple sense, we think Shlomo Melech is talking about the folly and silliness and worthlessness of this world. When we look into Zohar, he's talking about the energy of the world comes from, allegorically speaking, the breath of Hashem. And that is what comes forth from, allegorically speaking, the mouth of Hashem. Hamislabish, which is enclosed by Olam Hazeh in this world, V'chol Tzvav and all of its hosts, Lach Yesem, to vitalize them. That's the external breath or the matter of the letter, the body of the letter. But within it, Melubeshes is enclosed, the form or the soul or the inner aspect of the letters of speech. We must also know that people think in words and people think in letters, so we have the letters of thought as well. From God's holy attributes, or Tzeinei and His will, b'chachmas and His wisdom, ham yuchadas, which are enclosed bein Sab Baruch Hu, in the infinite Hashem, betachlis, in the ultimate. Zeh shekasav ha'arizal, that's what the Arizal wrote. Shebchines chitzeni is hakelim de malchus datzilus, that the external vessels of the level of kingship of the highest world, hamru Moses alluded to behei shel Shem Havaya Baruch Hu, with the hay of Hashem, because the hay is malchus. Hem yordu descended and nasu and became neshama. Leilam ha'asiyah, the soul for the world of Asiyah. Asiyah is also Malchus. V'kach kosev b'tikunim, sha'yudu b'atzilus, as it says in Tikkunei Zohar, that of the four letters of God's name, the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey, the Yud correlates to wisdom. And in the worlds, it correlates to Atzilus. The Hey, the first Hey, correlates to Bina. And in the world, it correlates to Bria. The Vav correlates to Yetzirah, that's the worlds, and to the six emotive attributes. And the last hey tata, mikanenes nes, so to speak, ba'asiyah, it's malchus, and it manifests itself in the lowest world. I believe this is the end of today's Tanya portion. Okay, thank you.